With Valentine's Day around the corner, we're turning our attention to a topic that's less about hearts and flowers and more about those spreadsheets and goals. It's the subject of financial conversations that we hope you fall in love with. Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union is joining us today to help couples navigate these tricky but important money talks. Let's welcome Tammura Thomas, Fruitridge Branch Manager for Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union. Hi, Tammura.
Hello.
Hello.
Always great to see you.
You too. You know, we're talking about romance, love, and our finances.
Right.
So let's start with this. Why can talking about money be so tricky for couples?
You know, that's a really great question. And when we think about financial decisions, rarely do they have to do with the price tag of an item, right? How we are raised really shapes how we feel about money and finances, saving, spending, all of those things. So there's a lot of emotion that goes into it, and that can make it really hard to navigate for couples. So I think that makes it hard to want to have that conversation.
Yes, but still important to have.
Absolutely.
So now, what would you say is the most common mistake couples make when it comes to having that money talk?
Sure. I think the biggest mistake is that we're not having the conversations, right? It's really important that we have these conversations early and we have them often, you know, because of all those emotions that we just spoke about. It can make it really uncomfortable. So a really great place to start a conversation around money is to talk about your future. What goals do you have? What does financial security look like? You know, you may be able to find some kind of common ground financially that you can work on a goal together, and that will really help drive the conversation.
So you have the talk, but what if couples find out they're not on the same page when it comes to the money talk?
You know, that's actually more common than we think, right? So there are a couple of different things that you can do. One thing that you can do is you can consider keeping your finances separate. So you have a joint account together to handle your living expenses, utilities, things like that, your joint kind of financial decisions that you have made. Or if you are saving towards something, then you have your separate account, so you can use that for your spending or your saving, whichever side of the coin you fall on, right? If that doesn't work for you, because it doesn't work for everyone, you could consider having a conversation around limits. You know, set a spending limit for each other. I'm comfortable with you spending this a day, a month, however you want to have that conversation, but if you want to spend more than that, then we need to talk about it. So that's another really great option, so that everybody's being respected in that.
And what about those situations where one person's the spender and the other one's the saver? How can couples kind of handle that dynamic when they're opposites?
Sure, and that does happen, right? There's that opposites attract thing out there for a reason. And so I think it's really important to remember that financial conversations rarely have to do with the price tag, right? Again, we're talking about the emotions and a need that we all have. So whether you're a saver or a spender, that comes from within. So it's really important that you have compromise, flexibility, and that you're talking about it so that each partner's needs can be met throughout that conversation, right? There's also the option to speak to a financial counselor, which is not a relationship counselor, but it's a third party who can kind of look at things objectively and help you plan your finances. And sometimes that can help you get on a path together.
Yeah, especially when you have someone that can look at it objectively. It's no blame game there.
No blame game. That's right. No feelings.
No feelings, just facts, spreadsheets, and graphs. Okay?
Yes.
Any final financial tips for our couples out there, Tammura?
I think it's just really important to remember to have the conversation, plan for your future, and to get help if you should need it. There's a lot of help out there. If you're looking for financial advice, you can always come to our website, schoolsfirstfcu.org. We have a lot of great financial resources, budgeting, things like that. So have the conversation and don't be ashamed to get help if you need it.
Yeah, exactly. Tammura, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Desiree.
Alrighty, and you can visit one of the many Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union branch locations as seen on the screen, and you can find out more online by going to schoolsfirstfcu.org.